Hi everyone. First of all, please excuse the state of me. Not a good day. I don't really know why I'm making one today. All this stuff is meant to be therapeutic, but nothing's helping at the moment, to be honest. Today is the 25th of September, so it's 10 days since I gave birth to and lost Bailey. That's 16 weeks. Yesterday I got the report from Queen Charlotte's, which was the fetal care unit I was sent to when they first noticed Bailey's bladder problem, megacystis. And the report is just so clinical and horrible and inaccurate, I think. For a start, the clinic date's wrong. Whether that's a mistake from the person dictating the letter and the person understanding it. They've said that I was scanned on the 11th, and they saw that the baby had died, and it wasn't, and it was the 7th. As if I forget that date, ever. And then it says that they first saw me at 13 weeks 1 day, and that baby died at 13 weeks 5 days, which has to be rubbish, because the other weekend, 15th September, when I gave birth, the specialist midwife, seeing him in the flesh, said that he was 16 weeks, going by his size and his colour. Which is obviously quite a big difference. And so at the moment I've got one report from when I was discharged after his birth that says he was 16 weeks. And this other report from Queen Charlotte's, who I've since found out, brilliant as I thought they were, both doctors I saw the day they told me he died were both students, which I'm not exactly happy about. And students have to learn, but why did I get a second opinion from another student? It's just, well, no, she doesn't call herself a student, she calls herself a trainee, but there's not really much difference, is there? So I didn't even have a proper trained doctor tell me my baby was dead. So I'm not happy about that either. I've emailed them to correct them about the date, the clinic date, because the way they've written it, it could look like they were trying to not exactly be completely truthful about how long it took them between seeing us and writing the report. Going by their dates, they've put I was seen on the 11th and the report was written on the 14th, and that's not true. I was seen on the 7th and the report was written on the 14th, so obviously that's a bit different. The saying that he was 13 weeks 5 days, they're saying that because the day they saw me and told me he was dead, I was 14 weeks 5 days, and they just provided measurement, which they couldn't get very well because he wasn't moving, so they couldn't measure him very easily. Or they just went by his head measurement or something at the time. I don't really know what they were on about with that. That he died a week before, which would have been the same time as my mum. But my hospital were absolutely adamant from looking at him, that he was 16 weeks. I'm assuming the midwife and the doctor saw him, in the flesh, said that. Obviously I'm hoping maybe the post-mortem, when we get the result of that, whenever that comes through, will also say he was further along. Otherwise it means I have obviously imagined him moving for another week. I can't bear the thought of that. And it would mean I definitely put my mum, when I went to see her at the chapel of rest at the hospital the day after she died, it also means I put her hand on a baby that wasn't alive. That's too much. Sorry. Where was I? Yeah, the report uses so many horrible sounding doctor speak words, and I don't know what anyone else thinks when other people have read these sorts of things. Obviously they sent a copy to my consultant, my main consultant in maternity, gynae, whatever, and they sent a copy to my GP. Now obviously both of them, don't know so much about GPs, understand all these technical words about the baby, but I don't. So why can't they just write it in normal, plain English? Doctors, if there's anyone out there, write these things in plain English. It's hard enough to have to see that, to not, to then have to sit there and Google every bloody technical word and read these horrible descriptions, rather than just someone being straightforward. I mean, the words they've used in Bailey's one talk about his head not being a normal shape. And they use a horrible sounding dolly something word, I can't think what the word was. And I had to look that up and read all these descriptions about these head shapes and what they could mean. Instead of someone just telling me the head was slightly misshapen because of the lack of fluid or whatever she thinks. And just all these other words. So, like I said, we're still waiting on... I really feel it's hanging over me all the time now, the post-mortem. It was a week Saturday since he was born, and I know he was going early last week to the hospital in Oxford for the pathology to do the post-mortem. No idea how long it takes. All I was told at the hospital and discharge was I would get told by my consultant at my 6-week check. Now I can't wait another 5 weeks. Don't know what happened, and I shouldn't have to. My mum was a full-grown adult woman, and hers took a day. They collected her from the hospital on the Monday, and my dad was here, and he got the call in the afternoon, by about 2 o'clock that afternoon, with the full result, cause of death and everything. And was able, I don't have to register the death, so I don't know whether I even get a copy of the report, but I'm going to ask. I don't see why people should then have to chase up a report on why their baby's died. This is enough to go through. It's not fair. And I know I must be impossible to live with right now, because I'm such a mess. To be honest, I'm not grieving normally. People will tell me is healthy. This is not what I'm like normally. This is having a minute on my own, which I don't really want to be on my own in some ways. In other ways, I just do. I'd rather be with hubby. That's all I really want to be with my kids. Supporting my dad as I can. When I get a minute like this on my own, I find myself talking to my mum, and that's just crazy. I wouldn't be constantly ringing or anything if she was alive. But there's so much left unsaid, I think. And I didn't get to have that last conversation. People keep saying, at least she wasn't in pain, and God, I'm so glad if she wasn't. I don't know how much pain she was in, because she hid it. And God, I wouldn't have wanted her in any pain. But these people that know they have, X amount of time, they can do so much in that time. You can say goodbyes or whatever. And if we'd known, I'd have had time to get back and see her. And much as everyone's telling me, there's nothing I could have done. I know I physically can't magically make an aeroplane to have flown me back from holiday, and I know I had to go with my own because hubby couldn't afford to fly him and the kids back. But I'm still traumatised by all of that as well. I don't feel I'm doing any good for anyone right now. I feel I've let the kids down by losing another baby. On in April, it was only 4 weeks along, and they'd only known for a few days. And obviously Bailey's so much worse, so much harder. And I can't even broach the subject of trying again, because I'm scared hubby won't want to. And I haven't let myself think about it properly. Inside, the instinct is, I still feel, and I've felt it since baby died, that I will have another baby. I don't know whether it's him or mum telling me or what it is. I just have this feeling. I don't really know what else to say. I mentioned the report. I've emailed the hospital to tell them they need to correct certain things. And I mentioned I'm waiting on the post-mortem in case there's anything they can do to nudge that along. But I don't have any faith in hospitals, so they probably won't do bugger all about it. Sorry, I'm a bit of a state. So I'll maybe give it to the end of this week. I don't want to have to ring. I don't want to have to ring the midwife and talk about this again to chase it up. But I may have to do that. I don't know what else to say. The Bailey's charity, I will mention that actually, in case anyone is listening. I have added a link to most of my other, well, definitely the blog before this one, from my Just Giving page, collecting it in collecting fund. Trying to raise money for SANDS, which is the Stillbirth and Neonatal Death charity. At the last count, which was a couple of nights ago, we had raised £300 purely from donations in a week. So please, anyone, any little amount anyone wants to give, and obviously pass the word around. Be great. I'm just leaving it going as long as I can because it's all I can do. It's a bit upsetting that that's doing better than the charity my dad was when we were trying to raise money for in Mum's name. At the funeral we said family flowers only, and anyone else, give donations to Help for Heroes, which is a charity my mum really cared about, but for the soldiers. Obviously this was put on the back of the order of service. This was put, my newspaper, I put in the the Ealing Gazette, it was also put in there. And I think we had one donation at the funeral. My friend gave me another one afterwards. And I think that's it. And we had over 100 people attend the funeral, so I'm pretty disgusted by that. Probably gone on enough. And I've loads of talks, but my dad hasn't arrived yet. He comes every morning about 11. So he's not here yet, and my friend's taking Charlie, my youngest, to school. I just can't face everyone. I just, physically it killed me to stand around in that playground. I'm still having a lot of back pain. Also I just don't want to see everyone. They all know where I am. They know what's happened, and they're not here. So I know who my friends are. The ones that are contacting me, I know who my friends are. Everyone else, I can't be bothered with standing there, either being ignored or avoided, which I've also seen, or people saying stupid things. There are a lot of those said at these sorts of times, unfortunately. I've just remembered my hubby watched one of these. I thought, if you are watching this one, darling, I love you. And I'm just sorry I'm just being so useless right now. I do love you and the kids. All four kids. My mum. Okay, I guess I'll do another update. If not before, when I get the post-mortem result on Bailey. I'm terrified of. I guess what I'm scared of with that is, I know there's a chance they won't be able to tell us anything conclusive. I've accepted that. But there's always the chance that it was me, there was something wrong with me, I did something wrong. Another big fear connected to that is I went through that CVS test, which turned out to be for nothing because it was all fine. And I took the risk of that CVS test. I'm scared they're going to come back and say the placenta was damaged by it, and that's what killed him. And it's stupid because I know I saw the bladder got bigger, I saw all this, but I won't believe it until I'm told by someone who knows what they're talking about, hopefully. That's it for now, I guess. Thank you, and I'm sorry if I've depressed anyone. Thank you, bye.